welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're a B2B founder or chief revenue officer, you already know the absolute agony of unpredictable revenue cycles. One quarter, you're up, the team is celebrating, popping champagne, and the next quarter, you are scrambling just to keep the lights on. Today, we're exploring a white paper by Sean Ennis, the founder and CEO of Kinetic Tricks. It's titled Stop Chasing Quarters, and it outlines this really fascinating, data-forward, AI-native framework that claims to fundamentally change how you view your pipeline and permanently solve lumpy revenue. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start by diagnosing the lumpy revenue problem, rethink sales and pipelines, and then unpack the compounding pipeline solution. After that, we'll break down the 10 traction tasks, take a look at autonomous execution, and finally figure out how to stop chasing quarters for good. Right, Section 1, the lumpy revenue problem. Our revenue is lumpy. Oof. Just hearing that phrase, it perfectly captures the dread that keeps sales leaders tossing and turning at night, doesn't it? It's that feedback that instantly drains all the air out of the boardroom. It's that grueling paycheck-to-paycheck reality of a resetting sales engine. You close a quarter, breathe a temporary sigh of relief for like 5 seconds, and wake up the next morning starting from absolute zero. But honestly, the part that really stings is when you lose a deal to a competitor right in your own network. You find out a contact you actually know bought a solution you offer, and you didn't even get an at-bat. And why? Not because you were outpriced or had an inferior product. You lost simply because you were invisible the exact moment their buying window opened. So to fix this disease, most companies try to brute force a resetting pipeline. A founder's personal network dries up, so what do? They hire sales development reps to just blast cold emails and LinkedIn messages to total strangers. They essentially replace selling with spamming. But this just creates noise. It doesn't build trust, and it definitely doesn't compound. Every new list is a cold start, and the conversion math is brutal. The alternative proposed here is a compounding pipeline, where outcomes are literally manufactured through accumulated awareness and trust over time. Moving on to Section 2, rethinking sales and pipelines. To fix the lumpy revenue problem once and for all, the paper suggests we really have to stop throwing marketing and sales into one messy go-to-market bucket. Let's separate them. Marketing is the ongoing drumbeat of awareness. It's making sure prospects know exactly what you do all the time, not just when you're desperate for pipeline. Sales, on the other hand, isn't about bothering strangers until they break. It's about building and maintaining a trusted network. It's knowing who your buyers are and tracking exactly when they are likely to buy. So the crucial takeaway here is that revenue isn't an activity you do, it's simply the natural outcome of marketing and sales working continuously together. Section 3, the compounding pipeline solution. This is where the white paper introduces a major paradigm shift. We're moving away from a pipeline that resets every 90 days, and instead we're treating it like a dividend-paying savings account, which brings us to a term you've probably heard. The Bluebird deal. You know the one, that massive deal that seemingly just falls right out of the clear blue sky. Well, let's debunk the myth that a Bluebird is pure luck. It is meticulously manufactured. It happens because sustained awareness and maintained relationships hit critical mass exactly when a buyer enters their buying cycle. It feels like magic, but actually, it's intelligence. Think about it. If you email a prospect in March because you know their maintenance contract renews or their budget opens in April, you aren't guessing. You are manufacturing a Bluebird. All right, Section 4, the 10 traction tasks. So how do we actually pull this off? We need to shift our focus to the ground-level operations. The framework outlines 10 essential activities that have to run continuously. This means feeding the social beast with regular content, deliberately growing your network, meticulously monitoring buying signals, doing rigorous meeting prep, instantly capturing meeting outcomes, and keeping your CRM squeaky clean. Now, individually, these tasks are pretty easy, but collectively, you're looking at 20 to 40 hours a week just doing administrative chores to maintain this intelligence across a massive network. And here is the absolute sticker shock. $325,000. Yeah, if you decide to delegate these 10 traction tasks to humans, you're going to need an inside sales rep, a sales operations manager, a social media manager, and a fractional CMO. That costs at least $325,000 a year, fully loaded, before a single dollar of pipeline is even produced. And hey, if you're a startup founder doing this yourself, your opportunity cost is even worse. You're doing $50 an hour administrative work instead of driving high-level strategy. The paper contrasts this manual nightmare with an AI-native approach using Kinetic Tricks' Keyforce platform and its AI agents Sage and Aria. The math of manual labor versus AI is just brutal. Social content drops from 10+ hours a month and a $70,000 hire down to just 15 minutes of human approval and $0 extra dollars. Meeting prep? That drops from 30 manual minutes per call to an instant morning briefing. And CRM hygiene? Rather than your database turning into a graveyard in 60 days, the AI continuously enriches the data in the background.
Section 5. Autonomous Execution, Human Control.
Now, whenever we talk about AI running a pipeline, the visceral fear is handing the keys over to a robot that suddenly goes rogue and starts sending hallucinated spam to your most important contacts. No thanks, right? Well, the framework solves this by separating two concepts we very often confuse: execution and control. Execution is the labor of making it happen, drafting the email, clicking through the CRM, doing the research. Control is the ability to decide what happens. Using a human-in-the-loop concept, the AI agents do the heavy lifting and execution. They propose the email drafts, they queue the social posts. But you, the human, maintain 100% approval authority. Your time drops from 30 minutes writing an email to about 30 seconds approving one, giving you way more control because absolutely nothing slips through the cracks. Finally, Section 6, Stop Chasing Quarters. The ultimate win here isn't just saving money on headcount. It's about buying back your most valuable hours to focus entirely on what humans do best: building authentic relationships and closing deals. So it comes down to a really hard-hitting question. A Bluebird deal happens when awareness, network, and timing finally converge. So are you engineering that convergence, or are you just hoping for it? Seriously, is your strategy built on data and continuous background execution, or is it just built on hoping a cold email blast miraculously hits the right inbox on the right day? Look, if your revenue is lumpy, it's time to stop the paycheck-to-paycheck sales existence. You can build an AI-native engine that keeps you completely visible across your entire network without you personally executing those 10 traction tasks for 20 hours a week. To dive deeper into how platforms like Kforce can transform your operations, you can reach out to sales at kinetictricks.ai or download the full white paper directly from the Kinetic Tricks website. I challenge you, stop chasing quarters and start building a compounding pipeline that finally pays you back. After all, if you aren't manufacturing your own Bluebirds, who are you leaving them for? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.